Well, we have another person here for you tonight. I'm going to have him introduce himself. And who are you, sir?
I'm Don Carsten.
All right. Don has been, how long have you been a member at the club?
Since about 1978.
That's quite a few years.
Yeah.
How many years you been sailing? He's laughing right now, so I think we're getting a big number.
65 or so. It's about 65 years.
65 years.
60 years. About 60 years.
How'd you get into sailing? I mean, how'd that start?
With my dad, he wanted to build an ice boat. And so we built an ice boat and started to learn how to sail on that. And then he bought a little sunfish type of sailboat. And we used it on vacation, family vacations. We'd go up to Swains Lake and go swimming off of it. We use it for more of a dive platform than a sailboat.
And then you were hooked?
I got hooked on it, yep.
How did you get, I know here at the club, if anybody's listening doesn't belong here, Don is very accomplished on Wednesday nights, or Thursday nights, excuse me. He does quite well in the races. But how did you get into racing sailboats? Because I know you've done quite a bit of that.
Well, when I was in the Air Force, I came home, and when I got done with the Air Force, then, excuse me, I was doing a lot of ice boat sailing.
Okay.
And I found out that the guys that were doing really good at ice boat sailing also did summer sailing.
Ooh, that's interesting.
So I decided, well, I'm going to try to get better at ice boat sailing because I was getting fairly good at it. And so I went ahead and bought a small Penguin and found out that the fleet died a couple of years before I got into it.
Oh, okay.
And then about 6-8 months later, I came across the Rhodes Bantam, which is a 14-foot sloop rig boat, and learned a lot on that. Then the Catalina came along, and I went in partnership with my dad on that.
Okay.
And just started sailing Thursday nights and doing the circuit that we had up here. Back then we were doing 10 to 12 regattas a year.
Really?
In this area.
Now,
never had to travel for it.
Now, where would you go? Where would they be out of?
North Cape Yacht Club, Monroe Boat Club, Cooley Canal.
Yeah, that's okay.
Putin Bay.
All right.
Toledo Yacht Club.
Yeah.
Out of Riverview. No, I don't know. I can't remember if Riverview had a regatta.
That's quite a few. So they did about 10 or 12 a year, you said?
10 or 12 a year, yeah.
Okay. And then when was that you were doing that, would you say?
Oh, that was like late 70s and mid 80s.
Okay.
It kind of died off a little bit.
Now, I know you have a 22 now, right?
Correct.
Did you always race? Is that your preferred size to race, or?
Yeah. Well, I came across the deal on the boat and decided that's what we wanted to get.
Is that the Rum Runner?
Yeah, Rum Runner.
Which has no rum on it, by the way. I've been on it, so that's kind of a misnomer. But go ahead.
Well, I don't know if you know what Rum Runner is. What a rum line is. The rum line is the shortest distance between 2 points.
Okay, I did not know that.
And so we but that's spelled RHUMB.
Yep. Okay.
And this boat is so old and beat up that it's already had the H kicked out of it.
That's pretty funny. Now, do I understand that you've also done some racing in California?
Oh yeah, we've been around the country.
How did that start?
Well, the first one we went to was Lake Ontario.
Okay.
Youngstown, New York. We went up and did nationals up there. And then a couple of years later, we went to Chesapeake Bay and did nationals there.
Yeah.
And I think I've sailed 14 or 16 different national championships.
And how many did you win?
2.
That's awesome. Now, were those by yourself or did you have crew?
Oh, I had crew. Oh yeah, no, I usually carried a crew of 3. When I first started sailing nationals, it was my wife and son would sail with me.
Okay.
Then we got divorced, and then when I remarried, had her and her daughter sailed with me. And then things went awry again, so I ended up with a wife that doesn't sail.
Okay.
But I ended up with some friends that were pretty good at it, and we went out and had a good time. And
I know you got your friend. I've sailed with you and is it Carrie? No.
Carrie?
No, who's the guy I've sailed with that you've sailed with before? I'm trying to think of his name. Oh well. But now, so where now you won your national championships? Where did
Texas. We were in Texas.
In Texas?
I won one in California, Spinnaker National Championships, and then won the Gold Fleet Championships in Texas.
Now in California, would that have been in San Diego or?
Yeah, San Diego.
That's a nice. That's
Mission
a nice
Bay.
place. Yeah, I've sailed there. I'm sure not as well as you did though. Last time I sailed there, it did not go well for me, I guess. I'm still pretty new at it, but I was trying to get the sail down and it wouldn't come down, and the bay gets rather busy. And, it was like, I don't know. I had to put my daughter on the wheel and said, okay, we're going to turn it into the wind. What? Just turn the wheel. We got to put the sail down. We did get it down, but that's a beautiful area of the country though, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Especially when you're sailing amongst all the Navy ships.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Where's your favorite place to ever have sailed, Don?
Probably Lake Tahoe.
Ooh.
Beautiful up there.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, must have just rented a boat there, or did you know somebody?
The first time I went out, I chartered a boat from somebody out there.
Okay.
And ended up with getting crew from New York.
Ooh.
And what we did, we made an agreement with the owner of the boat that we could do anything we wanted to the boat, but whatever we did, we'd leave there. So if we wanted to add hardware, we'd drill holes in it and
really,
and go ahead and do what we had to do to rig the boat right. And we sanded the bottom down. He just put a brand new paint job on the bottom.
Okay.
We sanded it all off because it wasn't what I wanted.
Okay.
So we took it down to fiberglass or gel coat.
All right.
And started out with wet sanded out to 400 grit.
So that was your your favorite place to sail?
Yeah, it was beautiful out there.
What did you like about it? Is it the lake? I mean, what about the lake did you really like?
The cleanliness of it. When we were sanding the bottom off, we did it over a drain, and that drain went off to another lake. They wouldn't let that go back into the lake.
So it's very clean then.
Very clean. I was sitting on the boat doing some tuning on it one morning, and I dropped the tool, and it went down. And actually, when I looked over the edge of the boat, it felt like I was 35 feet off the ground. The water was so clear.
Oh my word! Really?
It's beautiful.
Is it still like that?
I believe so.
Now, how big is that lake?
Tahoe?
Yeah.
It's probably, I'm going to guess, 20 by 15 miles or something like that.
That's a nice sized lake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, do they do much racing there too then, I would imagine?
Well, we had our national championship out there, so we brought in 40 or 50 boats for it.
Okay. What do they, when they have a championship like that and people are coming in, what do they trailer their boats, or how do they get them there?
Yeah, we trailer them in.
Okay.
And the second time I sailed out there, I sailed with a guy I just met, and we sailed in the Silver Fleet because he was not Gold Fleet material.
What's the Silver Fleet?
That's the has-beens.
The has-beens. Now, what constitutes a has-been, Don?
The ones that are still learning how to sail, and they don't feel they're competitive enough to sail in the Gold Fleet.
So it's is that like cruiser class here?
You like a cruiser class, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
They call them the silver class, huh? But you sailed in the gold class normally, right?
When I borrowed the boat, yeah. We sailed in the gold, but when I sailed the second time out there, I was in the Silver Fleet because I could only stay for one day of the regatta.
Okay. Now, if you were going to give advice to a newbie sailor about sail trim, what would be the biggest error you see of I see your eyes going across now. The biggest error you see of newbies when it comes to sail trim?
Not enough halyard tension,
Oh, okay.
normally, and over trimming.
Over trimming.
Over trimming. They want to crank it right in and tighten everything up, and it just stalls out the backside of the sail.
So when you sail, and I've noticed you adjust pretty much everything, right? I mean, tension on the halyards, tension on the stays, you do it all, right?
Oh, yeah. Do what I have to do to make the boat go fast.
How long did it take you to learn? I mean, when I go out, I'm lucky the boat moves. I mean, how did you learn how long did it take to learn all that?
60 years.
Does that mean you're still learning, Don?
I'm still learning.
Okay. I notice you're very, very receptive to taking new people on your boat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I notice you're very tolerant. Like, I know my sister banged you in the head more than once. and you were tolerant of that, but that was on her boat. But
yeah.
I know you enjoy teaching new people the craft.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah.
You got to grow the sport.
I know you have one of the young guys you bring with you. What is he, 12, 13?
Yeah, I think he's 12.
Yeah.
My neighbor.
And he just eats up everything you tell him, doesn't he?
Yeah, yes, he does. He sailed with you one day, didn't he?
He did. He sailed with me. And I don't know if that was a good thing because it was his first time on the lake. And it got rather rough. And I think he was getting a little concerned. But then once he saw the women dragging their hands in the lake, and I know you wouldn't do that, Don. It would slow the boat down. But we were already in last place anyways. Then he kind of calmed down. But he was ready to go again about 5 minutes after getting back in. So I don't think it ruined him. But he was very cooperative and nice young man. But it was so exciting to see somebody that young, being into sailing.
Right. Yeah, he's gone ahead and bought his own boat already and wants to learn how to sail on his boat. And
What did he buy?
Bought one of the club boats, Excite. It's a 10-foot cat rig boat.
Okay. Yeah, I think he had that last year, right?
Yeah, he bought it end of the season.
Okay. So you're saying not enough halyard tension would be the biggest error you see, huh?
Probably.
Interesting. I got to remember that this summer. Do you even need to see the telltales, or can you just feel on the tiller now?
I can feel most of it on a tiller, but I watch. My eyes are glued to the telltales.
Are they still, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Don, thanks for spending some time with us. Anything else you would want to give advice to new sailors before we go? Anything?
Go out and have fun.
There you go.
Ask questions. Don't be afraid to walk down the dock and ask people questions because everybody has their own opinion on it, but what you do is take a conglomeration of all the different opinions and put it to good use somehow.
You're right. Thanks, John.